The Romantics.
Our first ever series on the channel. The Romantics, there it is. We thought this was very much correct and the appropriate time for us to start sort of understanding a bit further and deeper from more of a technical perspective. Indian cinema, its history, the people who have sort of played a role. Some of these movies have already impacted our lives, really, like Virsara is probably one of the best films we've seen from coming out of India. That's like one of the classics. We are yet to watch one that Yash Chopra has made, which is Mohabbatain, however you say that thing, which is a very musically intriguing movie. But DDLJ was also one of the music scores that sort of caught our attention for a very long time. I'm intrigued on knowing the behind the scenes. I'm intrigued on knowing the man itself, the history, and the Romantics seemed like a very appropriate, and Valeska said it off camera, required for us to sort of know, and why not share the journey with you guys. I hope you all enjoy this. This is a bit different. It won't interrupt the movie schedule, but it is something that is going to be coming up, and this is us also expanding our knowledge to be able to become cinema critics of different parts of the world.
Correct. I just think it's really it's necessary for us to understand the industry a little bit better. I think it's also important for us to understand culturally what was happening in the industry at the time for a lot of these films that we're about to embark into. So I think it's going to give a little bit more weight, a bit more context to our way of watching these films in the future.
If you want to watch the full uncut version with the whole music reviews, you can do so at Feature Friday Movie Club by becoming a member of the channel. You get the full movie review, the full music review, uncut, with no interruptions. All you need is your own copy of the movie, sync it up to our timer, and let's get ready to party.
Whoa,
Nice to meet
Katrina's
you,
in there.
Lars.
What the f***? The guys are K?
They got everybody in the industry.
Ayushman as
Yeah,
well.
they had so many people in. This is a huge production.
Kajol. Oh, nice. Whoa, Kapoor, Ranbir. Nah, mate, you're perfect.
They
What
just,
the f***?
just pulled
Bollywood
out.
Assemble.
I
Of
love
course.
this guy.
Of course.
Just picture this like little slightly overweight kid sitting on the floor in front of.
There's no way he was fat as a kid.
Apparently he was, yeah.
Refute to believe that.
I was
That's
just
the one we want to review.
engrossed, besotted, fascinated.
Wide-eyed.
It was a very, very fascinating world for me.
Because a lot of
love
these
that.
actors, these were the productions that probably
Shaped
changed
them.
and
Yeah,
shaped them
shaped
into
them.
choosing their lives as actors.
Correct.
We're the largest filmmaking country in the world.
We make
Also-
churn out about 7 to 8.
Churn out
gonna
is the
say-
right word.
Yeah.
Mate,
There's
it's
so many
insane.
films a year, and it's not like a recent thing. It's always been part of the industry.
Right.
Fanatic about two things. One is cricket and one is movies.
I think song and dance is so unique to India, which is like unbelievable. Like most of the people in West, they don't understand what's happening.
You know,
Arguably,
plays
probably
and
most things
theatre
begun
being
there.
part of our culture from the dawn of time. So I mean, we know what we're doing.
Yeah. Come on, look at that.
Today, because we have to term them as something, we term them as a drama or a romance or an action film or a comedy, but actually we have everything in it.
After
a very
sex,
human
cinema is the only
experience.
best form of entertainment in the world. For Indians at least.
I like it.
What a cool guy.
Okay, so
Yeah, okay, no, I want
curious.
to see who the freaking...
YF
it's them,
Entertainment, so
it's
it's
themselves.
themselves.
Okay, it's an in-house production.
I come from a very lower middle class family.
SRK talks, I shut up.
That also we would go and watch in a neighbor's house who had a television and who would graciously allow all the kids to come and sit on a dari. The good thing was there was no advertising between the films.
Nice. I'd watched The Masters, I'd watched Raj Kapoor, vintage Raj Kapoor, and Guru Dutt, and Bimal Roy. But it was
All these
Yash
guys are
Chopra's
also
cinema
contemporary
that
in
caught
age.
my eye.
Something that stands out in his films is a sense of grandness. His films
I
talk about
agree.
eternal love. There's a bit
Eternal
of
love.
destiny thrown in.
As a child, I would wonder, do people really go to a 5-star hotel to just have coffee?
Yes,
Right.
Breakfast at
They do.
Tiffany.
And I felt that who is this man who is constantly responsible for mesmerizing me as a child?
They were from a very humble background. They weren't really one of those fancy type of rich people, you know.
Perhaps that's why he liked to showcase opulence.
He made it somehow as a journalist, then he became a writer, then
I'm
he started
curious.
making films. Then he came to Bombay.
Oh my God! Look at that. How cool.
I think the partition really had a deep impact on everybody's
1947, right? Ginormous date.
Government buildings in New Delhi all aglow to mark the 10th anniversary of India's independence.
It's also so fairly recent, mate. Like
it is.
It's less than 100 years. Like.
It's new history, if you would like to think about it that way.
You also see its impact be so raw in comparison to other levels of patriotism in other parts of the world.
I agree.
In art.
Yashji came to Bombay and started to assist within BR Films.
Oh my goodness.
So in 1959, Yash Chopra makes his debut film, which was Dhul Ka Phool, which is an examination of what does an illegitimate child mean. It was made by somebody who in his head did not differentiate the Punjab of India from the Punjab of Pakistan.
So very much how he probably felt.
His second film, Dharmputra, is a very direct take on Hindu fundamentalism, a certain kind of predisposition for softness in emotions. 4 years later, he makes this pretty grand, opulent film called
Which is the first one that SRK sees, right?
And he flowed with whatever was happening under the
1965.
BR camp. He was quite happy with that environment. Till before he got married.
What a nice picture.
For the first time, early 1970s.
No way.
Oh, no way. That's gorgeous. She was beautiful.
His friends of ours
Yeah, she's
who
been
knew
alive
him
for a
also
while, mate.
came over to invite me for dinner.
She's really cute looking, though.
I had already met him once before and said no. And I said, if you want me to come like this, I'll come. I'm not going to dress up for someone I didn't even like.
Why is that?
Lovey-dovey time.
Oh my God, they remastered his wedding? That is so cool.
Unreal. Usually in directors' lives, obviously their love life plays a huge role into the inspiration of their art at the time. So this is going to be curious on how he adapted his story.
Correct.
In on a honeymoon, I just thought that after directing 5 films in BR Films,
wow, what footage!
I thought it's high time I should fly on my own wings.
Dude, I love the way he talks.
Fabulous.
Rest in peace.
Somewhere my inner self saying, either now or never, you have to do it.
Well, I love that.
But in order to do this, is what he was saying, like you have to then learn how to become a producer, which is very different.
And he was a big financier also. He called ESG.
He came to me. I hear you want to produce a film. Any amount of money, whatever terms you want, I'm with you.
No!
That's the type of endorsement I need in my life.
I want $10 million.
We started with one room, 10 by 20. And that is where Yash Raj Films was born.
Come on. Come on, y'all. That's a boss move.
Dog.
Dag had Rajesh Khanna, who was very big name.
The film Dag
Stunning.
was complete.
Stunning work.
Came to see the film. They said, wonderful, wonderful. But in a very subdued way. It may not do well. Now it's my test of a producer.
It was many nights he didn't sleep.
Wonder what year did the
Before the
interview with
release.
Karan
And then, of course, Yash's first film was a hit.
Vamos! Oh, mate, the amount of stress he must have gotten relieved from. What a journey to get there.
Time to pay back that banker.
He's not just a young producer, he's a young husband, he's a young father, and he's somebody
Aditya,
who
of course,
is
right?
looking
He
forward.
died born 73.
Pakistan launched a surprise airstrike on Indian airfields in the Western Command area.
We had first the events in Bangladesh.
The Allahabad High Court found Indira Gandhi guilty of electoral malpractices. Thousands of media persons were jailed and the judiciary was...
In 1975, you have the emergency.
This is really interesting because this is the part we obviously have
Don't know
zero clue
absolutely
on.
nothing about.
And that backlash comes in the
Unless you're
form
from India.
of the angry young man.
Amitabh. Efran.
The hero changed, the face of the hero changed.
Of course. You needed the hero, the man that would take.
You need an Indian hero, essentially.
That's right. No, you needed somebody to follow, to give. Whoa!
Not the squeaky clean kind of a hero. He would be someone who's a criminal.
Oh, I want to watch that.
Yeah, this looks fire.
And Amitabh Bachchan became the voice of the common man.
Yeah, you needed a symbol to fuel all this hope.
You never understood the emotional subtext. That's something we never even thought about as kids. For us,
Of course.
it was, oh my God, this is so cool.
That's his son, right?
Yeah.
He's married to f***ing Aishwarya. He wins at life. We're all losers, just so you know.
And the common fight between us was who's going
Oh,
to be
nice. That was
Amitabh
real.
Bachchan. And he was like, I'm his son. I was like, you can't every time be Amitabh Bachchan.
He's my dad.
Yes, I can.
And in my second year, I was late to register for classes. There was one seat left.
This is a
and
good
it
doc,
happened
you
to
know.
be-
It's
and on the
fabulous.
first
It's
day,
really well
the
carried. I
instructor
love this.
asked us
Good pacing
to
too.
just get
No
up and perform
fat.
something. I knew the words of the monologue from Diwar.
उफ तुम्हारे सारे उसूलों को कूद कर एक वक्त की रोटी नहीं बनाई जा सकती।
That's why Amitabh was Amitabh.
हम दोनों एक साथ इसी फुटपाथ से उठे थे लेकिन आज तुम कहाँ रह गई और मैं कहाँ गया।
They were like,
Yeah. Good art surpasses all language barriers.
I think what Yash Chopra created in Diwar catapulted Mr. Bachchan to be
Rani
who he became.
is and will be always the woman.
My early memory of Yashji is
Yash-
in his flashy
Yashji.
sports car driving down Marine Drive. And Yashji was always looked upon as this new age young director.
Guess his son looked behind him.
I love that.
What a proud father.
But Diwar was very rugged, and one wondered whether he would accept to do something like this. This is a very intense scene. We're talking about bullets and things like that.
Why?
are you going to a bouquet? Hey, acha lagta hai.
Let it be. I'm the man with a vision.
Let me direct, mother. You act.
Music is my passion, actually. Yash knew that and invited me to attend the music city.
Oh my God, Lata, what the f?
And slowly I became a part of that group.
That's why they were so musical.
Aha.
Makes sense.
See, this makes a lot of sense to me.
He was very interested in my mother's point of view.
Right.
And I think you will see that change in his movies post-marriage.
Well, she could sing.
In fact, she's the one who's written the story of Kabhi Kabhi.
Kabhi Kabhi.
Well, obviously, I've always wanted. Aha,
It's
story
her
by
story.
Pamela.
I think Kabhi Kabhi, in a way, was an art film.
A film fest.
But it was the biggest star cast possible at that time.
Right. But now we understand clearer now the influences of and the point of trying to make music a big part of every movie.
Well, the fact that the songs have always been such a standing character in a lot of these films.
That's right, because a lot
speaks a lot of the thought process behind it.
Kabhi Kabhi is a story of a young poet. He falls in love with a woman. He gets married to another character played by Wahida Rehman.
I didn't want to do the film because
Rishi.
I felt if they gave me Neetu's role, perhaps I was a little childish. I do not know what the reason was. Made me understand Shashi Kapoor and Yashji made me understand. I was stuck in continuity in the film. Not that I was going. And I said, oh my God, I'm stuck.
I can't get out of this.
How stupid, how silly I was. I would have missed out on this such a wonderful film.
Oh.
Kabhi Kabhi is extremely nuanced and extremely complex, and the things it's saying about a relationship, about marriage.
These were mature scenes. They were modern scenes. They were scenes people avoid. These are the fact.
This is life. Yeah.
Kabhi kabhi mere dil mein
And it's and it's not like big propaganda-esque. It's just like it actually feels very real. I have to watch it obviously and review it.
But it feels like a story that could have happened to anybody.
This is when Mr. Bachchan stopped being the
angry
incredible
man.
force.
Yeah.
He became the lover boy.
And you heard all lovely, beautiful women and men and talking romance and poetry. And
so he became popular amongst the ladies then, demographic-wise.
I remember we used to hire VCR in the color TV and used to watch films on VHS tapes.
Put your hand up in the comments if you know what VHS is and you've seen them.
The group who can afford a VCR, which is to say middle class families, they start to desert theaters.
And they're the ones with the cash.
Yeah, of course.
We started deriving from the cinema made in the South. We became a bit a wannabe movement at that point of time. And so there was sort of color and kitschness.
The kind of cinema that came out in the early 80s was cinema that I personally didn't like.
I see. People consider this a weak era.
I made 3 films. One film from my heart, and still I say it's from my heart, Silsila. It didn't come to the box office as I was expected.
It affected all our careers, yeah. The film didn't do well. Yeah.
Whoa.
It was a setback.
Especially when a film that he really loved.
Oh, imagine what that means for an artist. It's like, the things I love are shit.
Not want to meet anybody or talk to anybody or anything.
Understandable though.
Little did he know the 90s were about to be f***ing nuts for him.
I'll make a film which touches my heart.
That was Chandni.
I started Chandni.
The topmost star at that time was Sridevi.
Sridevi.
It didn't matter to her who's,
Look at them eyes.
We saw a compilation of her acting.
It was just the money.
Yeah, of course.
Chandni benefited from Sridevi more than Sridevi benefited from the film at that time.
I remember walking into the room once while he was reading the Vogue. And I said, Uncle, why you're reading the Vogue? Like, that's so cool. He's like, yeah, I'm referencing costumes.
He's so involved, and that's why I love the attention to detail.
He had
Look at him.
visualized Chandni in a completely white wardrobe. So she came to Yash and she said, Yashji, what is this white? It's so dull.
I like to present you as I want it.
And the mother came. White in our community is not considered festive at all.
Yeah, it's the same back home.
Somehow he managed
Mate,
to
it was
convince her, but
perfect.
She was not completely convinced.
Mother, go sit in the green room. How about that?
I know for a fact that Yash knew that if this film doesn't work,
yeah,
because he knew this was his last bullet.
Vibe.
This
Yeah, man. What do you
changed
mean he cooked?
But look, rain. Girls in white. Look at that. Yes. Who cares if he's not punching somebody in the
She's
face?
very unique though as an actress, isn't it?
She's cool.
Mate.
Come on, look at that poster.
I was already ready to watch that film all 7 days of next week. But I walked out to such a tepid and such a lukewarm. This is not a commercial film. And I was like, why aren't people getting it?
Another flop is coming. Don't give them theaters.
I said, I don't know. I had dreams, but I don't know if I'll be making films now.
Yeah, because I'm broke. And if I don't pay this shit back, I'll be going to jail.
But as destiny has it, Chandni had work.
Ladies and gentlemen, a big hand to the multi-talented.
Vamos!
And then there was no looking back for Yash Chopra.
Yeah, the 90s became...
God, please, thank you, Lord.
North had taken to it. The music had become a blockbuster album.
Like every woman wanted to be Sridevi.
Yeah, Sridevi, very interesting character.
That was the first movie called to me, which opened the doors for romance.
We are still all reaping the benefits of that phase.
Especially someone like Karan.
He'll tell you about that, reaping the benefits.
Throwing
I
rose
think he's so
petals on a
brilliant, though.
woman from a helicopter.
Stunning, that's romance.
And then the unachievable love standards of Bollywood were born.
It's a cinema that just sort of makes you feel that
Like
you
you're
can
in a dream. Yeah.
He brought Switzerland back on the map.
Yeah, every film had Switzerland then going forward.
Should be indebted to Mr. Yash Chopra for the rest of their lives, which they are. They have a suite under his name, they were trained under his name.
He did spend a lot
Geneva.
of time in
You're going to be passing a lake. This lake is called Chopra Lake.
That is ridiculous. That is ridiculous.
You get the sense that Yash Chopra and the production house itself is rising from the ashes. This young man called Aditya Chopra has just begun his career.
Of course, son.
Very cool.
That wasn't even a discussion. I mean, that was just,
there they are.
I don't even remember thinking about it because you just knew that that's all. His world was cinema.
I was sure that,
He
that
was
he
from the
would be a
beginning.
filmmaker. I think he's not just a filmmaker now. I think he's a creator of cinema in a larger sense.
Antisocial? I have no clue.
Oh, he doesn't like
He
it.
hates going out. He hates promoting his own movies. He hates it. He just wants to be left alone.
Don't be so shy now. Come on.
Oh, he's an anxious boy.
Don't be so camera conscious, okay? How do you feel?
Kajol's
Kajol
telling you, okay?
He's right now limping out the door.
Should be intense, isn't it?
Would it surprise you if I told you that he
Look at him in the
shot with
background.
us extensively? Like he gave us
What?
That's a big one.
He hates it. Like 20 years ago, I don't know.
You should sell that for a lot of money. I would buy it off you.
Well done, guys. Congratulations. I think that wrap interview's done.
Oh boy.
Okay, let's go, guys.
Nice, and this is how we end.
Ah, nice.
Fabulous.
Very interesting. Very interesting.
Good little first episode.
What an experience.
I actually really like this though, because the conversation is very open in terms of like how they managed to structurize the documentary.
Structure
the documentary. A lot of documentaries can get very long and they can be quite hard to digest, and I think they have a specific audience. There's a specific people that love documentaries, and to make it so accessible they needed to do something that was dynamic, told the story in a very clear way, but at the same time kept the tempo really up.
Yeah.
And so there's a really fine line between keeping things moving and still telling you the magnitude of a lot of huge episodes in a person's career.
Correct.
And in terms of how this was directed and brought to life, there's a lot of time efficiency and vision behind it.
It's going to be very interesting on seeing how Aditya sort of progressed in his own directing career, because he saw the things of his father, where with art I always have this like peculiar conundrum, right, which obviously I think Yash went through himself, which is like, you obviously want to create art that represents aspects of you, your beliefs, your belief systems, your paradigms, your philosophies, but at the same time you never want to try and create art that comes, the philosophy, the paradigm, the beliefs come first and the art comes second, because then you're just basically creating an advert, you know, for your philosophies.
And I also think if you grew up watching Yash just kind of like growing to be the iconic filmmaker.
Right. He is the highest grossing Indian film producer of all time.
Yeah, well, there you go.
Fucking hell. Well, let us know what you guys thought about it, and we will proceed to learn more, discuss more, share our thoughts more in the next episode, and also do vote on the poll, because that decides what your future is.
Goodbye.
Bye, have a great time.